Have you ever felt the weight of old achievements or titles defining who you are, even as they no longer reflect the person you've become? If so, this video is for you. Letting go of empty pride and titles is essential for embracing a life of authenticity and peace. We'll explore how releasing these identities can help you focus on what truly matters, allowing you to live with greater freedom and joy. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll gain valuable insights into how to let go of what no longer serves you and step into a life of deeper fulfillment. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Let go of resentment. Resentment is a silent and persistent force that insidiously weaves its way into the fabric of our lives, gradually draining us of peace, joy, and even our health. It begins with the memory of betrayal, unkind words, or actions that felt unjust, and over time, resentment becomes deeply embedded in our hearts, nurtured by the belief that we are protecting ourselves. Holding on to these feelings, however, feels oddly familiar, as if by clinging to the hurt, we are safeguarding ourselves from future pain. But the truth is, resentment doesn't punish the person who hurt us, it punishes us. Carrying resentment is like clutching a burning coal to throw it at someone. But who gets burned? Not the other person. The fire scalds our own hands, leaving us wounded and diminished. The anger and bitterness seep into the crevices of our thoughts, often surfacing when we least expect it, and can even manifest as physical symptoms like stress, anxiety, and heart disease. Research confirms what many of us already know. The emotional burden of holding onto resentment can have lasting, detrimental effects on our physical well-being. But beyond these effects, resentment steals something far more precious: our emotional freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It does not mean excusing what someone did or forgetting the pain they caused. Forgiveness is not about reopening old wounds or inviting someone back into our lives who may have hurt us. Forgiveness is, instead, a profound gift we give ourselves. It's a choice, a conscious decision to release the power that resentment holds over us. When we forgive, we declare that the past no longer has the authority to control our present or our future. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to let go of those burdens that still haunt your thoughts. Picture the person or situation that has lingered with you. Perhaps a friend who betrayed you, a family member whose words cut too deeply, or even the younger version of yourself who made choices you now regret. Envision setting down that heavy burden, watching it fade into the distance. How much lighter would you feel? How much freer would your heart become? Letting go of resentment doesn't happen in a single moment or overnight. It begins with acknowledging the pain. Allow yourself to say, "Yes, this happened. It hurt deeply, and it mattered." Give yourself permission to grieve, to feel the anger, to process the emotions that are tied to those memories. But then, gently remind yourself that you no longer live there. The hurt may be part of your story, but it doesn't need to define the rest of your journey. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's a practice, an ongoing effort. Some days it will feel easier than others. Some mornings, old wounds might sting again, but on other days, you'll notice the pain feels lighter. Celebrate those moments. They are proof that you are healing, step by step. Releasing resentment also involves changing the narrative you hold about the past. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this? How has this experience shaped who I am today? Often, our greatest growth comes from our deepest wounds. Resentment begins to lose its grip when we start to see those experiences not as wounds but as sources of strength and resilience. Letting go of resentment is an act of reclaiming your power. It's about saying, "I will no longer let this pain dictate my life." It's about stepping into a place of self-love and self-compassion. The people or circumstances that caused you pain no longer deserve to occupy your thoughts or steal your joy. Letting go of resentment isn't about them. It's about you. It's about your peace, your happiness, and your freedom. Picture a life unburdened by anger. Imagine yourself smiling more freely, laughing more fully, and feeling lighter in your heart. Resentment may have traveled with you for years, but it no longer has to stay. Today can be the day you begin loosening its grip. One breath, one thought, one act of forgiveness at a time. You've carried this weight long enough. It's time to let it go, for your health, for your joy, for you. 2. Let go of past sorrows. The past is a realm that many of us revisit frequently, a space that holds both cherished memories of joy and light, as well as shadows cast by sorrow and loss. For many, the challenge of aging isn't solely about the accumulation of years behind us, but rather the weight of the memories we carry. The pain of past sorrows, whether it's the loss of loved ones, missed opportunities, or fractured relationships, can become so deeply entrenched that they seem to overshadow every step we take forward. Yet, living solely within those memories can blind us to the beauty and potential that lies in the present and ahead of us. Letting go of past sorrows doesn't mean forgetting them or pretending they never happened. It means acknowledging that life is a rich tapestry woven with both joy and pain, and choosing to focus on the threads that bring brightness and hope. The sorrows of our past, while significant, don't have to take precedence over the moments of joy, peace, and love we still have the opportunity to create. Life, after all, isn't about erasing the past. It's about finding ways to carry those memories without allowing them to weigh us down. Consider the moments that still haunt you, whether it's regret over something left unsaid, decisions that cannot be undone, or the absence of those we love. These sorrows are like chapters in a book, but they are not the entirety of your story. Grieving is a necessary part of healing, but dwelling on sorrow can prevent you from fully embracing the beauty and fullness of life that remains. It's important to grieve, but it's equally important to recognize that grief doesn't need to become your identity. Think of a garden after a storm. The branches may be broken, the flowers trampled, and the soil scattered, but with care and nurturing, new life will begin to emerge. The same is true for your heart. The sorrows of your past may have left their marks, but they don't have to define the beauty that can bloom in your life now. New joys, new opportunities, and new connections can take root when given space to grow. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The journey toward letting go begins with acceptance. Acceptance that what has happened cannot be changed. Acceptance that sorrow is a natural part of being human, a reflection of how deeply we've loved and how fully we've lived. Yet, accepting these realities also means recognizing the strength within you to move forward. You can honor the lessons your past has taught you while leaving behind the pain that no longer serves you. Focusing on the present moment can be one of the most powerful acts of healing. Today, you have the chance to take a deep breath, feel the warmth of the sun, and hear the laughter of loved ones. These moments, often overshadowed by sorrow, are gifts waiting to be embraced. Letting go of past grief allows you to open your heart to the small, quiet joys of everyday life. Reframing your perspective can also play a vital role. Instead of viewing your past as a series of wounds, consider it as a testament to your resilience. You've endured heartache, faced loss, and emerged stronger. Each chapter of sorrow has shaped you, not defined you. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring your pain. It means acknowledging that your story is far richer than its saddest moments. Perhaps the most difficult part of letting go is the fear of losing the connection to what's been lost. But letting go of sorrow doesn't mean letting go of love. The love you hold, whether for people, memories, or moments, is an eternal part of who you are. By choosing to focus on that love rather than the loss, you honor the relationships and experiences that have shaped you. Letting go of past sorrows isn't a betrayal of your memories. It's an act of courage. It's the realization that while the past will always be a part of you, you also have the power to live fully in the present. You are not defined by what you've lost, but by how you choose to embrace what remains. As you breathe at this moment, allow the past to rest gently where it belongs. You've given it enough of your time, tears, and heart. Now, turn your face toward the light of today. Let the sorrows of yesterday gently drift into the background, making room for the beauty of this present moment to take center stage. Life is waiting for you to step forward and embrace it fully. 3. Let go of meaningless relationships. Letting go of meaningless relationships is a transformative process that requires reflection, self-awareness, and a commitment to living a life that aligns with your values and well-being. As we journey through life, our priorities inevitably shift. When we are younger, we often seek quantity over quality, surrounding ourselves with friends, acquaintances, and casual connections, believing that the more relationships we have, the richer our lives must be. However, as we grow older and experience the ups and downs of life, we begin to understand the truth. It's not the number of people we know that matters most, but the quality of the connections we hold. Over time, life has a way of showing us who truly uplifts us and who weighs us down. Some relationships, though once meaningful, no longer serve us in the same way. This isn't a reflection of judgment or bitterness. It's simply an acknowledgement that some connections run their course, and that's okay. The people who once played a significant role in your life may no longer contribute to your growth, your happiness, or your peace of mind. Letting go of these relationships doesn't mean discarding them entirely. It means freeing yourself from the burden of holding onto connections that no longer nurture your soul. The journey of letting go is one of self-respect and honoring the precious gift of your time and energy. It's not about cutting people off in anger or resentment. Rather, it's about creating space for deeper, more authentic relationships that truly uplift and support you. You don't need to hold on to every acquaintance or connection from your past simply because they've been a part of your life for a long time. Longevity doesn't always equate to loyalty, love, or mutual respect. Sometimes, relationships fade because they were never meant to last, and recognizing this is not only natural but healthy. Consider the people currently in your life. Which ones bring joy, encouragement, and support? These are the relationships that deserve your energy and attention. Conversely, are there those who drain you, who bring negativity, or who leave you feeling unappreciated and undervalued? These are the relationships that may no longer serve you, and it's okay to step back from them. Letting go isn't about cutting ties abruptly or with hostility. It's about stepping back, reflecting, and permitting yourself to prioritize your well-being. You are under no obligation to maintain relationships that no longer contribute to your peace or happiness. Instead, focus on nurturing the connections that nourish your soul. By doing so, you create space for new, meaningful relationships to enter your life. Relationships that are built on trust, kindness, and respect. The idea of letting go can feel intimidating. Fear of hurting others, guilt over severing ties, or concern over losing people from your past can hold you back. However, caring for yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. The people who truly care for you will respect your decision, and those who don't, in truth, were never deeply invested in your happiness. Meaningful relationships aren't about numbers. They're about authenticity and mutual care. Meaningful connections don't need to be numerous. They simply need to be genuine. A single friend who truly listens, a family member who shares moments of laughter, or a neighbor who offers a kind word can bring more depth and fulfillment than countless superficial relationships. Life isn't defined by the volume of connections, but by the quality of the ones that make you feel seen, heard, and valued. It's not about grand gestures or constant interaction. It's about the quiet assurance that the people around you contribute positively to your well-being. Reflecting on your relationships, ask yourself, are these connections helping me thrive, or are they draining my energy? If the latter, it may be time to create space for those who truly celebrate you. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who inspire your growth, and who nurture your best self. Be that person for others as well. Meaningful relationships flourish in mutual respect, care, and kindness. They don't weigh you down, they bring you joy, encouragement, and peace. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you is not a loss. It's a gain of freedom from negativity, obligation, and the emotional weight of shallow connections. It's about making space for deeper, more fulfilling relationships that enhance your life. You deserve to be surrounded by people who see your worth and celebrate your presence. Choose your relationships wisely, guided by an open heart and a clear mind. Let go of what no longer serves you, and hold tightly to what does. In doing so, you'll discover a life filled not only with contentment, but also with peace, fulfillment, and a deeper sense of purpose. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 4. Let go of empty pride and titles. As life continues to unfold, we may find ourselves clinging to the titles, roles, and achievements that once defined us. These symbols, whether tied to career success, social status, or personal recognition, brought us pride, identity, and a sense of accomplishment. They marked milestones, reflecting our hard work, sacrifices, and the contributions we made along the way. However, as time passes, these titles can become burdens rather than sources of meaning. Holding on to them may obscure the deeper truth of who we are today. Letting go of pride and titles doesn't mean we dismiss our accomplishments or the roles we once played. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that our worth is no longer rooted in what we once were, but in who we are in this present moment. Titles are inherently temporary. They may have once elevated us or granted us respect, but they no longer define our current value. What truly defines us now is the impact we make through our actions, the kindness we offer, and the relationships we nurture. The essence of who we are is no longer shaped by external accolades, but by the character we cultivate and the presence we bring to the world. Think about the weight that pride can carry when it is rooted in outdated roles or comparisons. A retired professional who continues to introduce themselves by their former titles might feel a sense of pride, but they may also find themselves disconnected from the present. Holding on to those past titles can create a barrier, keeping us tethered to a world that no longer exists. It can lead to a yearning for relevance, but one that feels hollow, empty, and ultimately unsatisfying. Letting go of these old labels brings a profound sense of freedom. When we release them, we open ourselves to embrace the beauty and simplicity of the present. You are no longer a former anything. You are simply you. In all your wisdom, your experiences, and your authenticity, you are free to exist without the constraints of labels. This is where your true self can truly shine. Letting go of pride doesn't mean diminishing our dignity or self-respect. On the contrary, it's about freeing ourselves from the need to prove our worth through external validation. You are not merely the sum of your achievements or the roles you've held. You are the laughter shared with friends, the love given to family, and the wisdom passed down to others. These intangible qualities hold far more value than any title ever could. When we release pride, we create space for deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Titles and status often erect barriers, preventing us from showing vulnerability, admitting our mistakes, or asking for help. By setting aside these facades, we become more approachable, more real, and ultimately, more fulfilled. Authenticity begins to flow freely in our relationships when we let go of the need to define ourselves by external achievements. Recognize that letting go of titles doesn't erase the contributions we've made. Whether those contributions were in our careers, in our communities, or within our families, they remain a vital part of who we are. They don't disappear when we stop naming them or clinging to the roles we once held. Instead, they live on in the lives we've touched and the positive change we've inspired. Ask yourself the story you want to tell about your life. Do you want it to be a collection of titles and accomplishments, or do you want it to reflect the depth of your character, the love you've given, and the impact you've made through your actions? The most profound achievements in life often unfold quietly, like a relationship mended, a grandchild taught, or a friend comforted in a time of need. Letting go of empty pride is not a loss, but an act of courage and self-awareness. It's the realization that your worth doesn't come from titles, but from the person you've become through the trials and triumphs of life. As you release the need to define yourself by what you've done, you'll find that who you are is more than enough. In this stage of life, there's no need for pretense, status, or posturing. Embrace the freedom that comes from being simply and authentically you. You've earned it. 5. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and healing acts we can undertake, though it often feels like the hardest to extend, especially toward ourselves. As we navigate through life, we accumulate not only the joys and triumphs, but also the scars of mistakes, regrets, and relationships that didn't unfold as we had hoped. These emotional wounds, if left unhealed, tend to weigh heavily on our hearts, keeping us tethered to past pain and preventing us from fully embracing the peace, joy, and freedom that life offers. Forgiving yourself is perhaps the most essential yet frequently overlooked form of self-compassion. We tend to set impossible standards for ourselves, replaying moments when we feel we failed. Whether it was failing to act in a timely manner, missing an opportunity, making a mistake, or falling short of our own or others' expectations. Over time, this self-blame transforms into a relentless inner critic that speaks words of judgment, particularly during moments when we most need kindness and understanding. But let's remember, you are human, and being human means embracing imperfection. Perfection was never the goal. Growth, learning, and love are. Forgiving yourself is about honoring your humanity. It's about saying, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. It's about recognizing that every misstep, every struggle, and every moment of failure is part of your growth. Consider speaking to your younger self, not with anger, disappointment, or regret, but with the same gentleness you would offer a child who is learning to walk. Remind yourself that you were always trying, even when things didn't turn out as planned. The past cannot be rewritten, but you have the power to choose how you view it, with compassion rather than criticism. Self-forgiveness begins when you understand that every mistake, every regret, was a part of becoming who you are today. It's about embracing your flaws, accepting that you did your best in every situation, and letting go of the relentless desire for perfection. Forgiving others can be equally transformative. We've all experienced hurt from others, whether it's a friend who betrayed us, a loved one who let us down, or even a stranger whose actions left a lasting impact. These wounds often linger, not because they are fresh, but because we repeatedly revisit them, nursing the pain as if holding on to it will somehow repair the past. But clinging to anger or resentment is like tying yourself to a rock and expecting the other person to feel the weight. In truth, the only person who continues to suffer is you. Forgiving others doesn't mean excusing their behavior or pretending the hurt didn't happen. It means releasing the grip those actions have on your peace of mind. Forgiveness is not a gift to the person who hurt you. It's a gift to yourself. It's the conscious decision to let go of anger, bitterness, and resentment that keep you anchored to the past, allowing you to move forward with greater freedom. The act of forgiving others is ultimately about freeing yourself, freeing your mind from the burdens of resentment and freeing your heart to embrace peace. It's a step toward healing that doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather accepting the imperfections of others and releasing their hold on your well-being. Forgiveness isn't easy, and there will be moments when the old pain resurfaces, when memories sting as though they happened yesterday. In those moments, remind yourself that forgiveness is not a one-time act. It's a practice, one you return to again and again. Each time you forgive, even if only in part, the grip of the hurt loosens a little more. Over time, you'll begin to notice the pain feels lighter, the anger less sharp, and the peace within you more profound. Forgiveness also requires perspective. When reflecting on those who have hurt you, consider their humanity as well. Were they acting out of their own pain, ignorance, fear, or limitations? This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help you see them as flawed individuals rather than villains. Understanding the why behind someone's actions can often make it easier to let go of the what. By acknowledging their struggles, you free yourself from holding onto anger, resentment, and the need for justice in a way that doesn't only benefit others, but liberates you from the weight of the past. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of freedom. It's about freeing yourself from the prisons of guilt, anger, and resentment that keep you stuck in the past. It's about reclaiming your power by choosing peace over pain. Whether you're forgiving yourself for mistakes made years ago or forgiving someone who hurt you deeply, each act of forgiveness is a step toward a lighter, freer life. As you journey through this stage of life, remember that forgiveness doesn't alter the past, but it shapes the future. It clears the way for joy, connection, and a sense of wholeness that cannot coexist with resentment. You've carried these burdens long enough. Now is the time to set them down. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't know better. Forgive others for their imperfections, just as you hope to be forgiven for your own. In doing so, step into a life not defined by what has been lost or broken, but by what remains to be cherished and celebrated. Forgiveness isn't just an act, it's a gift, one you give to yourself over and over again. Thank you for taking the time to engage with these reflections and insights. I truly hope you've gained valuable knowledge, encouragement, and a deeper understanding along the way. What is one key takeaway that has resonated with you? Something you feel inspired to apply or practice in your life moving forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections not only enrich the conversation but also inspire others on their journeys of growth and healing. If you found this video helpful, uplifting, or empowering, please be sure to leave a comment, like, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll continue to receive more messages of encouragement, guidance, and hope that are designed to support you through life's challenges and blessings. Thank you for being a part of this community, and I look forward to connecting with you further. Let's continue this journey together, growing, healing, and walking in faith.